Alright, now I have my 4 columns done, so we're going to take our template here and we're going to stick it in. We're going to just do one on each end, and we're going to face these so the negative legs are pointed one another. Remember, these are our positive columns. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bend that negative leg straight over and straight over. And, you know, if you want to do a slight variation, that's fine, but I'm doing it like this. I mean, if you wanted to, you know, just cut one there. I'm doubling them over because I think that'll make it a little bit more sturdy. Okay. So I'm going to trim a little so I can, oh shoot, I trimmed the negative leg off. Well, that was stupid of me. I'm going to end up fixing it. So here's what I'll do. Get some solder on here, and it'll still work. Alright, pretend I didn't do that. Okay, so if you could get them as overlapped as nice as possible, then you solder them together. Okay. I'm going to try to be a little careful because I screwed that up there. Alright, now when you do the next two, you need to pay attention to the spacing so that these don't bend. Okay, so you don't want to have them so that they're in like that or out too far either. Okay, so eye it up, get those negatives into position. I'm going to take a tad off this one, just a touch off that one. Okay. Alright. Another thing too that is you kind of got to watch, see how this one's in a little more than this one. That can throw you off a little, so pay attention to that. I'm looking pretty good right here, I think. So the distance this way and this way is looking good. I'm just going to bend this one down just a touch. Okay, and then solder. Put a little there. Don't heat it up too much, because if this whole thing gets too hot, they're going to pop apart. So I'm just soldering a couple points at a time, waiting for it to solidify, and then continuing. Okay. Alright, you're going to repeat. Pay attention to the distance, left to right. Alright, I'm going to get some solder on here, and get that into position. Okay, now remember, just do a couple tiny spots, a little at a time. Wait for it to solidify. Put a little there. Okay. Looking good. And continue. Pay attention to the distance. How's that? Yeah, that looks good. And a little here. Alright. Okay, now take your other two. Take my negative legs, I'm going to bend those over. Okay, and I'm going to cut them all right near the edge, and just out, maybe just a touch beyond the edge of the LED. Okay, do that for these negatives. Cut. Okay, so you can see how short I made them. Okay, then we're going to take this, we're going to temporarily take it out. We're going to take these and stick them in, push the LEDs down, and you'll notice where the negative legs are. They're right here. They're pointed out this way. Okay, So now I'm going to take this and stick it in, and I'm going to be overlapping those negatives on the bottom. Okay. So you do need, just double check, make sure, yeah, we're good. The negatives aren't touching the positives. Okay, so you can see now that the negative's resting right on the negative of the bottom LED of this middle column. It's resting right on the negative LED legs here. Same with this one. So I'm going to solder right here and here to secure that up. Did I get it? Yeah, okay. And I guess while I'm here, yeah, this is where I had to make that fix, that's right. I'm adding solder because I screwed up at the beginning, if you remember that. Alright, now I'm going to go to the next layer right here, and you can see how they're a little low compared to the outside, so you need to make sure that you get that adjusted properly. Now's the time to do it. So let's see, I think I'm going to need to raise that column just a touch, I think. It's close, but I think it's going to bug me. So I'm just going to try to heat this here and just raise that a touch. Yeah. Very carefully. Okay, and I did. Alright, so I like the looks of this. It's doing good. Okay, make sure things are aligned. Okay, come back and let's hit these negatives on here. Now you might need to move it a little bit. That's okay. You can still wiggle these around a little bit after we do the soldering. So I'm soldering the negative, those short legs. Oh, I didn't get it. Let's try and bend that up just a bit. Alright, move it up. Make sure that they're going straight up. You can see that I can move and wiggle these just a little bit. I mean, not a ton of play, but you can straighten them out a bit. So I've got to now get these negatives, and then I'll get those negatives. Okay. And you can see again here, this one looks a little lower than the other one. So if you wanted to fix it, you could heat it up and move it up. So you check that as you progress, and if you want to make any changes, you got to do it now. Okay, so soldering the negative onto here, negative onto here, and this one I'm gonna move that LED up just a tiny bit. Wipe off your tip every now and then. Let's see it. Shaky. Alright, but did that do it? We'll try it again. Okay, and I think this one too. Alright. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Alright, so now I'm going to attach the negatives here and here. Make sure that we're straight. Alright. Negative. Alright, and there it is. So now I have a completed panel. In the next step, you could check to make sure that they all light up. Okay. Alright.